Welcome to the top 8 of the Set Roulette event for
Our
winter
first quarterfinal.
2024, and we already have a Signal Pest and an Quarter Paladin threatening to do some serious battle crying over on the white side of the board.
Yeah. All right. Looks like there was a bit of a pause for a moment. I think if Corydon could have dreamt up a curve, this would be it. Syncopate saving the day for Jacon here, but just a quiet lava axe on turn 3 of the game.
Signal Pest has proven itself over the years to be a really reliably tricky threat to deal with. It...
It's like, yeah, it's tricky. It's also like, I'm really gonna spend a card on it.
One of the things that Mirrodin Beseiged brings are these um,
Ooh.
battle cry strategies. Here we see Battle Screech getting combined with Battle Cry. That's
Yeah,
powerful.
Jacon had my exact same thought. It's just, oof, that is going to be a world of hurt.
And the Wrath of Gods in this format are 5 mana, so we're getting at least one chance to attack with these bird tokens.
Yeah, we saw a blink in the eye to get rid of the quarter paladin.
Brimaz a strong
Also,
blocker in a lot of situations, but not here. Although we do take care of that Signal Pest with an Oust, which is probably not the way that Karate Dom would have preferred for it to be dealt with.
no.
But
Also worth noting, there's only 2 cleansing over in the main deck here. We might see one. No, we're seeing a Teferi.
Teferi does not deal with bird token very well here. Maybe part of the reason that you're seeing Battle Screech as opposed to some of the powerful cards like Hero Bladehold that we have seen out of some of the other white decks.
Yeah, it's actually a really good call from Karate Dom. And now we're just doing the maths. How do I get rid of this Teferi? I imagine Karadam is checking the deck list. Is there anything here to ruin my day? Is there a seal away? Is there something? Do I need to send everything at Teferi? Everything is being sent at Teferi, it looks like.
Taking no chances with the hero of Dominaria. We're going to get that guy off the board. If you can't
Oh,
draw cards, you can't beat me.
yeah. Okay, a quarter paladin went face. Essence Scatter takes care of Signal Pest.
That does signal
Nine of
that there
Great.
might not be a sweeper in the hand, right? You don't essence scatter that Signal Pest if you have a better way to deal with it.
I agree. Um,
Brimaz coming down, not ready to block bird tokens still, but will stop that a quarter paladin from attacking profitably.
oh,
Although you really only need to attack with it once if you're if you have enough bird tokens.
yeah. This is a sweeper or sideboard right now.
This white deck going very wide, and it will take down game one. What do we have out of the sideboard from these players?
I was about to say, Connor Donnelly, Jaycon here, really wish he took a page out of the other White Deck's book and brought a Light Mine field, I imagine.
Mm,
Uh, but it isn't to be. So there's a Lyra Dawnbringer, I imagine that goes in. There's a Chromatic
seems good
Strand,
here.
yes please. Another Cleansing Nova, yes please. Uh, then the 2 Consecrated Strings. Depending on how you want to sideboard, it might be something you're looking for just because it's also it's another blocker. It is 6 mana, but you take what you can get, and it flies.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it's interesting that all of these 6 mana blockers uh, getting set up against a bunch of 1/1 tokens, right? Is now it's with Lyra at least you're gaining the life back. Consecrated Sphinx does draw you some cards, but is that too slow to handle what we saw out of Karate Dom from this first game?
I think Caradon just wants something. Oh, sorry. I think I want Jacon just wants something to play every single turn. I just want to be affecting the board or the stack or something. I don't want to be affecting something all the time. And if that is consecrated strings, I imagine you're moving more towards a tap out control deck because
Yeah, I
sitting here and
mean,
just waiting to
you can't afford to spend 5 mana to deal with 1/4 of their 4 drop, right?
exactly. So we see Dauntless Bodyguard, another great 1 drop. There's a great so there's 10 1 drops in this deck. There are Dauntless Bodyguards, 4 of those, 4 Student of Warfare, and 2 Signal Pests. For the 2 drops, we're looking at 4 Quarter Paladins, 4 Knight of Grace. We're looking at 4 Benalish Marshal, 4 Hero of Bladehold, 4 History of Benalia, and then the 4 Battle Screech. Something
Yeah,
I'm looking very much forward to if Caradon brought is in their sideboard. They do have 3 contested war zone just to bring the beats that extra little bit.
yeah. I mean, that's effective against a deck like blue white where they cannot attack you and take that toy away.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the upside, none of the downside. And also, if you're raising your curve, if Cardodom bought it in a way that, say, they're bringing in a Johnny or Lyra or something to go bigger, then they want to hit some extra land drops as well. But it doesn't look like they want to go bigger. That
I
might
don't
be
think
more
they
of
want to go
a
bigger. They have 2 Dauntless Bodyguards in play.
yeah,
I mean, this is a good way
might
to
be
get
more
under
versus
some of the Wrath of Gods that cost 5 mana. A Johnny coming down. This is one that I have to read. So it puts +1/+1
I
counters on up to 2 target creatures. Gets back a 2 drop or lower, and threatens to emblem. And I just assume that emblem says win the game
you create some cats. You
every
create
turn.
3 cats area. Like it can be beat, but it's
It's tough
annoying.
for this white deck to beat that, I would think.
Yeah.
The blue white
So
deck.
there's a thing here that I'd like to direct your attention towards. This is actually a rematch.
Is it?
These 2 players did face in round 2 of Swiss. So do you have a guess as to who won?
Uh, I mean, based on the way the last game played out, I would put my money on Karate Dom.
Actually, Jacon won
Really?
the Swiss round. And we do see contested Warzone here. So these are lava axe carrying dauntless bodyguards.
Those are some beefy body boys.
Oh, and we see prismatic strands.
Prismatic Strands surprisingly doing so much work in this format. I mean,
Yes.
I'm just really shocked at how much we've seen Prismatic Strands help these control decks just get the 1 or 2 turns that they need to get around the corner. That being said, there's quite
Someone,
a corner to turn here for JCon.
yeah, also noticed that Jacon might not have the perfect mana situation that he would like.
Yes. Yeah, we missed a land drop that turn, right? So
We've missed land drops for 3 turns,
okay.
which I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not ideal. Oh,
Not the
Jacon's
kind
run
of
a
performance you're hoping for out of your control deck now.
exactly, and I imagine we'll see prismatic strands flashback.
But or do you have to save that for next turn when the history goes off?
Well, you can flashback it if all your creatures are dead, which they would be.
True. But
And
that
now you
does
can at least,
leave Jacon in a bit of a pickle for this next turn.
well, you can get a singular Bremas attack in, but yeah, it's not
Yeah,
ideal.
but that chapter 3 is coming up on history, and that is a lot of power. Plus, a Johnny is at 7 loyalty.
Yeah, and this is just getting a Johnny off of 7 loyalty and getting rid of a knight. I mean,
It's not nothing,
Jacob needs. It's not nothing, but
but you
Jacob
did
needs to
just
find these
trade
lands.
your Brimaz for a night token, right?
You did just do that,
And we're
and
still missing our land drops. So
we're still missing lands. We're still facing that contested war zone,
all
even if
these
we see it.
creatures
What would
also
we do
get
with it?
vigilance. And so Johnny continues to.
There's
Do
a
they
seal
not?
away.
My
No,
mistake.
only
They
the
just
knight
get
token is
bigger.
actually on that. Yeah. They're all knights, but only the knight token has vigilance, and they don't gain vigilance.
I'm just so used to being attacked by a lot of vigilant creatures. I just assumed it gave vigilance.
Yes.
But it doesn't
And
seem to matter
Jacob
because
packs it up.
Dauntless Bodyguard does the trick. And we see that white deck uh, take down the blue-white control deck in short order, moving on to our
Yeah.
semifinals.
Let's see what we have left. Well, that was surprisingly our first match. Do we want to look at Mono Green versus Mono Red?
Yeah.
Nuke versus Louis?
Oh, we have two versions of the mono green versus mono red
Oh,
going on
let's take
because.
Remy versus Ben.
Okay, here we go. Powerful monocolor strategies, highlighting the top 8 here. All of these pip 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 players.
Yes. And we see Kargan Dragonlord threatening to go flamble soon.
Yep, you're
But
the
is that,
dragon once again.
yeah, but is that good enough versus these 5/4s?
Well, there is 10 power against Ben's 10 life here.
Yes.
So do
The
we
math
see a
doesn't
chapter
really
3 on
work
flame?
the math doesn't really work in Ben's favor here.
What
I'll be
needs
honest
to
with
be in Ben's hand for this chapter 3 to kill Remy, right? Is
you.
we have Lava Dart. He's at functional 11 right now because of the Lava Dart in the graveyard. So I think we would need another Lava Dart and another
Oh, it doesn't
3
matter
damage
because
spell. And instead, Rabid Bite is just going to take it home for Remy.
yeah, and this is a sideboarded game because I don't think Rabbit Bite is in the main deck. So let's see
Let's
what the
see.
score will be here. Yeah, that makes
Okay,
it
so that
1-1.
evens it up.
Exciting stuff.
Chain Whirlers versus Steel Leaf Cobras.
Yeah, yeah, it's from that standard format. What can I
What
say?
else is there to say about
I'm very
this?
curious as to how Remy boarded here. Did he take out his land royals?
Against the Chain Whirler. Yeah.
It's definitely something that's worth considering, right? And I think the wisdom from standard at the time was that you took them out on the draw and tried to play another kind of game, and then you had them in on the play because it was just too powerful to not have it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the option of having it on turn 1 was just too good. But back then there wasn't lava darts, so maybe you just take them out completely because yikes, having.
Yeah, Lava Dart is. Land Whirl is a liability against the Chain Whirler Lava Dart deck. Although
Yeah.
with Flame of Keld, you want to point your Lava Darts at the opponent, but I think you're willing to bolt the bird anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially
So
with some of
Remy,
the starts we've seen out of this green deck.
yeah, so Mono Red. So Mono Red means that Mono Red actually broke Surf in the first game
Mm-hmm.
because Remy was on the play here.
Our players deciding on their opening hands here.
Yep. I don't know if it broke for me. I'll just quickly re-enter it.
Both players keeping their opening 7 here.
I'm trying to enter the match, but I can't quite see now. I'll just have to refer to your stream of it. Okay, excellent.
Land Whirl still in the deck.
Even on the draw.
just deciding that Llanowar Elf is too good and ramping into these powerful 3 and higher drops is worth it. And
Yep.
getting paid here because Kiln Feed comes down and Llanowar Elf untaps to add mana to the mana pool.
Yep. It seems we have some players with a bit of an issue. So I'll see if I need it.
All right. Well, we'll continue to watch this game while you handle that.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do for them right now, so I'm here with you until further notice.
All right. Druid of the Cowl coming down. Facing down against a Viashino Pyromancer. That does favor the Cowl, but as we saw, there is always the threat of Chain Whirler.
And we see aspect of the Hydra saving Druid of the Cowl here.
Preventing a profitable attack from Kiln Fiend. That's a nice chunk of life that Aspect just saved there.
Definitely. Definitely.
Maybe some problems going on with Magic Online here as we get into our top 8. Hopefully the matches won't be too affected and our players are able to restart and keep things going. But
Yeah.
the match we're watching does seem to be moving forward. Steel Leaf Champion hitting the battlefield now. How do we feel this game is shaping up right now? It seems fairly even. Who do you think is favored here?
I think it depends a lot of what's in Ben's hand here.
Forked Bolt, a good start.
Yeah, targeting Druid of the Cowl and Llanowar.
Targeting Druid here is a sign of strength.
It is, yeah, it is.
Wow.
Active treasoning Steely. Yeah, that'll do it. Because targeting the Druid means that even Viashino can attack now. And like he doesn't mind trading the Viashino with a Druid of the Cowl.
I mean,
Hello,
Druid seems like it needs to just soak up this 7 from Kiln Feed, but yeah, and Remy
take
agrees.
7 then.
Aspect, is that
Oh,
enough? It's enough to trade with the Kiln
trade.
Feed.
Yeah, I think this turn favored Remy.
Yeah, that did seem to work out.
Ben really needs
needs a Flame of Keld to be the last card in his hand, I think.
Yeah, even then, this is getting out of hand quickly for him. And there's no Flame Slash.
Ben deciding, I'm not going to kill their creatures. I'm just going to kill their player.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a 4-turn race, right?
Well, listen, we're still in active treason away from things going very wrong for Remy here. So even though this Steel Leaf Champion is a formidable threat, things can turn on a dime.
Yeah. Now Elvish Clangcaller enters the fray as well. What I would love to see from Ben here is Lava Dart, Flame of Keld. Or Lightning Strike, or what's it? Wizard's Lightning, something, and then Flame of Keld. Or a Chain Whirler to just gives himself some time.
Ben with his back against the wall here.
So Remy, what is it? I imagine Remy is trying to figure out how to close this game quicker so he doesn't suddenly lose to just like bolt, stuff like that. Remy is right now trying to imagine, all right, how do I lose this game and how do I best prevent that state from happening? And I imagine what is going through Remy's head is, I need to finish off the guy ahead of me. I need him to be dead, and I'd rather him to be dead yesterday than now.
A lot of tools at his disposal to make his opponent dead. Let's see what's coming here.
Yeah. That's a scary thing about playing mono red. You can feel like you're super ahead, and then suddenly it's just, whoop, I'm dead. Okay, this is actually turning out great, because this forces Ben to block both creatures coming in that he can block. I'm not even attacking with the druid, so I imagine there's another follow-up of some kind. So now
Maybe a
now
rabbit
he's
bite.
to, there's
But
no follow-up. Maybe, I don't know.
maybe just
Maybe,
blocking with the druid,
well,
not wanting to
yeah,
take any damage off that pyromancer and get himself closer to
yeah. Like,
dead.
there's definitely some reason. Maybe it's just playing a bit extra super duper safe, just in case of something. But now Remy takes down the match,
Remy takes down the match.
and I
So
think,
that is our second game in the semifinals. I know it looks like Brian Paris. I know they were trying to restart their match.
yeah, they had some trouble. They are our last match. So if we can get them on, then great. Otherwise, we have some. I have something lined up if that doesn't work out. I'll also see if I can get my Magic Online to let me actually watch matches. Oh no. Alright, good.
Do you see them? Are they in the? I'm trying to sort through all of these games here in the Magic Online freeform tournament practice room, which is where we do all of our play testing and Discord matchmaking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even in mode
Okay,
watch.
here we go.
So I'm trying
Wordwood
to log on to
versus
Node. But it seems like,
Brian Paris. And I believe Wordwood is up a game already.
awesome. I think my computer is starting to feel the load a bit. Okay, excellent.
You've got to restart Magic Online after every match, whether you're playing or commentating. That's the
Yeah,
rule
exactly.
of the game.
Okay.
We have an
See what's
awful
going on.
lot of toughness in play on this board.
What can I say? Brian Paris is just sitting there. I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
I like Consecrated Sphinx, and I cannot lie.
Yeah, we're also seeing
Sylvan
Legacy
Safekeeper doing a
Stable.
lot of work here.
Yeah. Also, as Dark Confidant is affectionately named Bob after Bob Meyer, this is actually
Ollie.
Ole Rod's Bob. So nice to see some Scandinavian representation here. As Chaos is beefing up everything.
Consecrated Sphinx needs to have a little bit more power on its toughness.
Yeah, of course, it needs to be a proper Titan.
That last Overgrown staying back to protect Thren from a sweeper.
Yeah, I imagine that's the idea here. Wall of Omens biting the dust. Teferi gone.
Sphinx drawing.
Sphinx Dwarven. Khan will return a Lyra, which is not insignificant.
But it no longer blocks Consecrated Sphinx profitably. with this Arcades out.
Not truly. No, it's that's not a great experience.
Lyra might be part of the solution, but it's not all of the solution. But the Cleansing Nova might be the other half.
Yeah, the trouble is, if he has activated Karn, no, okay, okay, he's choosing to make a construct. Interesting play.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
I think
guess
it's the hope that
wanting
he can.
to tick down Karn a little bit later.
Yeah, I think it's the hope that this Karn can stay alive. Tachiova enters the fray, and now we're just churning through the deck.
Brian Paris, happy to draw cards until this game draws to a close. Both players sitting on Library of Alexandria right now with 7 cards in hand, ready to activate as
Yes.
soon as they draw it.
Oh, do you remember the set roulette where Library of Alexandria was legal, so you could play 4?
And here's our first in Bolus's clutches of the match.
Finally! I've been waiting for this all night.
Now, was that the same set roulette where Mono Drain was legal?
No. It's the one that I won with, where we had. It's the
Well,
one
you
where we
won
had
both of
Channel
them
Fire.
honors.
It's the one where we had Channel Fireball legal as well, and
Okay.
Eldrazi and stuff like that. And then I was just tooting away with my Library of Alexandria's. Yeah, you make turn to 2 reality smashes. It's fine.
Set roulette can take us to some wild places.
Yeah.
Like tapping Eldrazi with Icy Manipulator, or
Set Roulette makes for a great highlight reel. I mean,
it really does.
and
What's
yeah, we see
what's
the.
your favorite highlight you think you've seen from this season so far?
I think it has to be the conscripted Inkmat Nexus, right?
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's good poster.
I was able to fling a sutured ghoul at my opponent for 30 damage in one of my practice
I
matches.
mean,
That was a highlight for me personally.
that counts as well. That counts as well. We do get some sweet stuff here. Okay, we keep on just piling friends onto the table, but what exactly are we planning to what do we want to have happen here? Because there's still a bloody Thrun on the other side of the board.
That's a
Okay,
start.
Gideon is a start.
I mean, that buys you time to start playing with your Karn, bubbling
Yes.
up creatures and getting more value out of the planeswalkers that do exist.
Yeah,
I mean, Karn
I'd
going to take a
imagine
good chunk of damage here.
I'd imagine that we're getting this Lyra back sooner rather than later right now. It's really patient play by Wedgwood. Oh, Unified Will to ruin the day again. Oh.
Brian Perez with the one of Unified Will has just been blowing people out with it. You know, it looks on paper like one of these concessions to open deck lists where you just want to mess with your opponent by having one Unified Will, and they just have to think about it. But we've seen it twice now just absolutely devastate an opponent.
Absolutely ruin someone's day. And now Arcades comes down.
Lyra not coming back. Both planeswalkers
No.
likely to die here.
Green Suns for 2. I don't even know. It could be an Ogron Battlement. Yeah, it's an Ogron Battlement. Draw a
I
card.
mean, hey, that attacks for 4, right?
Yeah. It will soon.
6 cards in
And then
hand for Wordwood still, so I mean, there's still plenty of room to draw a sweeper here.
Yes. And then we're just still looking at Thrun, not having any planeswalkers.
These decks both playing a very long game, and you know, Thrun is certainly a powerful, resilient threat that's tough to deal with, but the game's ultimately going to come down to who's able to craft the better inevitable plan.
Yeah.
You know, Thrun certainly could be that plan, but I don't know everything that Wordwood's deck is capable of here, and it could present some powerful pieces.
Yeah, now we see Lyra honestly just. I mean, we can still see some attacks, but Lyra is here to just. I'm a 5 power first striker. Do you
Yeah,
have anything with more than 5 toughness?
that may be some of the reason we didn't see any prioritization of bringing Lyra back from Karn before, right?
Yeah, not if there's just been a backup Karn at the ready.
A backup Karn and a backup Lyra.
This Karn did return the original Lyra.
Oh, did it? I thought that it didn't get a chance.
Now the new Karn can return the old Karn's
Oh,
leftovers.
so it can.
And we did see a concession of sacrificing a Wall of Omens to deal with the Karn.
I think an acceptable trade.
Yeah, it's a bit hard for me to say who's better off right now.
Yeah, the Lyra's doing a lot of work to keep this board manageable.
Yeah, though the Arcadis can. Okay, so there's a Teferi there. So now I'm inclined to say Wordwood, but it depends what Brian can follow this up with.
Yeah, Unified Will already in the graveyard.
Yeah, and there's only one of those. It is a great one. I am loving it.
And Wordwood now starting to pull ahead on cards a little bit.
Yeah, there's this thing. Will this Teferi? Oh, it has already drawn a card, but there is a consideration to whether you want to deal with this Arcadis in some more uh, elegant manner than just sweeping the whole board, because then your Lyra can actually start attacking.
This Jiraga Tree Speaker, if Brian ever needs something to do with his mana, can also level up to become a 4-power creature.
Yeah, unfortunately, 4 is still less than 5. So this Lyra is doing a great job of just stonewalling everything. And maybe where it would. Okay, I was thinking the follower is very interesting to me. I think Word would just want to force Brian to attack with Arcadis so Lyra can chop it down.
When they say math is for blockers, maybe what they meant is math is for defenders.
Math is for defenders. Because Wordwood is threatening this Teferi ultimate.
And it's a tricky attack to maneuver here, right? Because you can get through and take down a planeswalker, but at some personal cost.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Wordwood is pulling ahead on cards and just throwing your cards away may not be enough in the long game, especially knowing you have a Kiora's follower coming up here in a draw step or two.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a sweeper on top. Wordwood probably fine to see that, although Lyra doing a better job at controlling the board than the sweeper will.
Yeah. I think Wordwood would rather actually see almost any other spell, because he's not inclined to sweep the board to just leave Throne
Just
around.
leaving Thren to threaten the planeswalkers. Both players with a lot of mana and a lot of cards.
Yeah, I don't recall Kaor's ultimate.
Are
Is
either
it
of
the
these?
one that makes? I think it makes squits every end step. You just get an 8/8.
Well, let's find out. We can read the card. Yep,
No,
create a
and you get a
Kraken.
9/9.
So maybe this is the
And
long game plan. Maybe this is what Kiara is about. But Brian Paris with a 15-card wish board. Let's see what tricks we've got up our sleeve here for the control mirror.
there's definitely something.
There's got to be with a full wish board, right?
I mean, it's probably some Kozilek time. Oh, I recall. I can't really fathom how much mana Brian has available.
2,
5, 7,
3.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Is that 15
Yeah,
I'm counting?
that is 15.
Are we going to
We
see
quickly-
the queen of the spaghetti monsters herself come down to threaten Wordwood's planeswalkers, life total, board state?
honor?
Family.
Legacy, everything.
Do we have an Emrakul in the sideboard, Anders?
There is an Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, in the sideboard here, and we
And
see
it
it revealed.
enters the
Yes,
hand.
Brian. Brian put this in the sideboard for exactly this situation. I guarantee it.
Emrakul the Aeon's Torn cannot be countered. Casts Time Walk. Has protection from spells that are one or more colors.
Annihilator 6, flying, cannot be reanimated.
It
I mean,
does not have Indestructible.
It does not. It's only the new Eldrazi's, and I think it's only the new Ulamog that's indestructible.
And so we do know that there's a Cleansing Nova in hand that will handle the Emrakul. So we're kind of trading an Emrakul for a Lyra here.
And we get to attack with our Emrakul because we time walk first.
Touche. That is a powerful ability of the card. Annihilator 6.
Yeah, so we do get to get rid of some of these planeswalkers, get rid of some lands. I mean, Wordwood would much rather not be attacked by this Emrakul, I can guarantee you. But we have seen players survive and kill, survive Emrakul attacks and turn out to win the game later.
He has 3 creatures to sacrifice, so that takes some of the sting off of the Annihilator. 15 damage, not really that important at the moment.
No, I think we're back in 2014, 2013. Back when Legacy was a beautiful great format. We're way back. We're back in 2013, maybe 2012 even. We saw Thomas Enevolson with his Dead and Taxes deck actually survive 2 Emrakul attacks and turn to win the game.
Cleansing Nova coming down. Leaving just a Thrun. And that does take us off Emrakul mana, does it not?
Unless there's an untapped source, I believe.
We're at 13 right now, so we need...
13, okay. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance.
So can Teferi ultimate in time to stop this Emrakul?
Also Kiora will ultimate.
Yeah, a Kiora ultimate is good. A Teferi ultimate handles an Emrakul better.
Yeah. Now Brian is at 14 and there's 15. And there's a jump. I guarantee you there's a jump here.
Yep, you got to. So what do we need to see here? We have to deal with this Llanowar Elf, right? Or what?
Preferably we have to deal with this Llanowar Elves. But there's also the odds that Brian just shrugs and plays an untapped land.
He's certainly drawn enough cards in this game to have one.
Yeah. Well, he's down to 2 cards, so there are no guarantees.
And the Bant deck does play a high number of temples. Although 3 Temple of Plenty still in the deck.
Yeah, Brian has... Yeah, there's 3 Temple of Plenty left in the deck. There may or may not be a 4th Temple of Enlightenment, because one of these temples could have been wished for early in the game. I'm really curious to what Wordwood will do here.
First, we have to stop this Llanowar Elf, hopefully with something other than a Teferi downtick.
Yes, but there is also the option of... No, we won't get to... No, we've already ticked down Ikara. Because you could just shrug, take Teferi up to 8, ultimate your Ikara, take the Emrakul hit, and then Cleansing Nova. That is an option that's available to you.
if we have an additional Cleansing Nova in hand. We did cast the Cleansing Nova earlier.
Yeah, we did cast number 2, and that once again we're down to how the sideboard.
So Gideon gonna save him a few life points if this does come down, and we'll give Teferi a chance to ultimate.
Yes, yes, and that will work if Wordwood can manage to draw enough cards.
Now, on the extra turn, we will be able to attack with the Llanowar Elf and maybe take Teferi off of. Well, no, because Gideon, it's all
They
going
have
at
to attack Gideon.
Is this just next turn, or is it until your next turn? So
During target opponent's next turn.
so
That's unfortunate.
on the extra turn, Emrakul can in fact attack whoever she wants.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. Like, if Gideon had printed today, it would, due to Commander being so popular, it would say until your next turn.
Yeah.
Creatures your opponents control must attack Gideon if able. That is so unfortunate. Yeah, and that is heading straight to Teferi.
Thrun doing a little dance here.
Thrun is just troll dancing.
Decides, you don't have to force me to attack Gideon. I'm happy to do it of my own accord. Annihilator trigger. Is this the first Annihilator trigger we've seen go on the stack?
On stream, I believe so, yeah. But there has been other Annihilator triggers.
In the history of Magic? Yeah, I think so.
In the history of this event. Yeah, I believe it is actually the first Annihilator trigger, and it is from Mom Spaghetti. So that's very, very cute. Okay, we will actually be able to get rid of the Emrakul here.
Wordwood did untap.
And Emrakul, Gideon can assassinate Emrakul, interestingly enough. I would love to see that play out.
We still have a Consecrated Sphinx and a Thrun to worry about, though.
I mean, I think Wordwood would love to have a Cleansing Nova right here, right now.
It would be ideal to cleanse this board.
Cleanse some Nova.
Yeah.
But also, like, Wordwood is down to 19 cards. What's left of those 19 cards? Are there 19 cards here that win him the game?
Right. I mean, Brian Paris with the Emrakul now in play, not in a lot of risk of decking out, even if this Consecrated Sphinx decides to get frisky.
Yeah.
We are seeing Gideon kill Emrakul.
I think that
very
is
cool.
Beautiful.
I didn't get the screenshot in time.
Boo-hoo.
We'll have to go back to the VOD for it.
Nah, please, someone in chat clip it, because Gideon assassinating Emrakul that's straight to the museum. Sorry. I don't make the rules.
What a fun board state.
Yeah, Brian is quietly pulling ahead here. But it all depends on how Wordwood actually depends a lot on how they sideboard it. What are these remaining 18 cards? Is there something here? What
I mean, you are a blue-white control player at heart. Can you formulate a game plan for this Bant control deck to get out of the situation they're in?
Like, I'm looking at Wordwood's list, and step 1 is definitely ultimating at Teferi. Step 2, I'm not sure on what's going on from there. But we need some way to keep this run at bay. And I think that for Wordwood, that this whole Thrun thing came as a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, Thrun just steadily marching towards Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Who would win, every Planeswalker in Dominaria or one troll?
One trolly boy. You remember when Thrun was printed? Jace the Mind Sculptor was ripping Standard apart. Not soon after, they ended up banning the poor guy, and today he's like worth peanuts. But back then, remember, Jace the Mind Sculptor was close to $100 card because it was just the most powerful planeswalkers of all time. And they needed tools to come. Oh, here's Kozilek. That must have come in from an earlier wish because that's the main deck.
Or it was a very spicy sideboard choice from Brian.
I imagine not.
Well, have we not been watching this whole game? We've been watching this game for so long that it feels like we must have watched it from the beginning. But I guess
sorry,
we came
I just
in.
missed. No, I missed that. Brian cast another wish.
Ah, yes. The hazards of running a stream and doing commentary at the same time makes it's hard to do both things at full efficiency, but
yeah, and it's just easy to miss things on Moto because, well, things sometimes happen a bit more automatically.
yes, very true.
So now Brian is sitting steadily on 7 cards. Wordwood. So that's the thing about these these two ways of generating card advantage. Wordwood just wants to slow the game down and let his planeswalkers quietly grind it out, whereas Brian is just throwing these massive haymakers left, right, and center. He doesn't care about when the game ends. Like, he can play a long game as well. It's just every single one of his cards is impactful immediately. Where if a planeswalker gets answered after a turn, yeah, you're a bit behind, but you're not a Kozilek throwing 4 cards behind. There's 2 different philosophies going on here, and we see that Brian is getting full advantage out of this because, and this is actually Thrun carrying the game because Wordwood is just not able to contain this constant threat on the planeswalkers. If Thrun did not see this game at all, then I have no doubt in my heart that Wordwood would be massively ahead. That whole thing having something just surviving a sweeper really throws a massive wrench in this whole planeswalker control style deck.
Right. The entire idea is nothing can attack my planeswalkers a turn after I Wrath of God, and yet Thrun somehow defies all that, doing what he was designed to do and punishing opposing control decks. We tuck another Eldrazi. Basically the same as Gideon, assassinating it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Brian currently with 34 cards in his library and 2 spaghetti monsters.
Among those 34 cards. And still, we see Thrun just constantly being a menace.
Oath of Teferi coming down now, doubling up.
Yeah. Kiora here can bubble the construct to make it jump Thrun forever. Choosing not to, but it was an option that's available because I think it's like a whole maze of it, so it says prevent both damage both to and from.
It is an unintuitive line.
Who built to? Target from an opponent's controls. Okay.
So you cannot target your own stuff.
Oh.
They thought of that, Anders, and they said.
Yeah. Kiro would have been too broken otherwise. Mea culpa.
So Teferi and his Oath in play now.
But still, only 13 cards left for Wordwood.
We're much closer to deck damage than life damage ever mattering here.
Yeah, this is all about Brian just needing to keep these planeswalkers under control so they don't suddenly run away with the game.
This match being somewhat impacted, I think, by the Moto bug causing them to restart after game 1, because now you see both players with about 10 minutes left on their clock. You wonder how long that game 1 would have been.
Yeah, it's hard for us to police, so we're just gonna let them play because it's not something we can really
Yeah, Magic,
act on.
Magic Online is going to do what it's going to do, and we have to play the cards as they lay. But uh,
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate because this match would have probably been down to the wire on the clock as well. But I don't mind giving them the time to play it out.
well,
It's
and I would rather see the cards decide than the clock decide anyway.
especially if someone is having a bit of a connection issue, it would be really, really sad. This game is actually quite exciting. So now we see Brian fully using that reloaded hand we saw earlier, and we know there's still a Kozilek coming up.
Now, is this game two?
I have no idea.
Because I think Brian Paris lost game one, and this may be game two.
We are in for a grind like this, but this tournament has been like running so fast.
Right. I guess it really just took these two decks smashing into each other to grind it to a halt. When
Yeah.
both wall decks face off.
I see Brian in chat saying, yes, it's game two. I'm down 0-1. So, yes. We see Cleansing Nova saving the day here. Oh, saving is a big word, but you get what I mean.
Delaying the game further. Thrun.
Thanks, Brian, for that quick check-in. This is just crazy. But still, Wordwood has 10 cards left.
Well, we've been playing the same game for the last 15, 20 minutes, and the fundamental facts are still that this Thrun is just attacking. Although at this point, Teferi is starting to threaten
an ultimate.
An ultimate because of this Oath of Teferi.
How many Teferis are gone? Is this the fourth Teferi?
Yes. No. Yes, it is. So it can't ultimate right away, right? It needs to get high enough that it can ultimate and then self-tuck so that Wordwood doesn't die.
Yes, it needs to survive and then be able to tuck.
And then Karn has to build enough constructs to finish the game.
Yes.
That's the path, right?
Yeah. What's in the exile pile? Is there any cards that Karn can get that would be interesting?
There's a Kiora. No, not really. I mean, Kiora can ultimate, and that will also...
Kiora can ultimate next turn. So we're looking at...
It is getting very interesting. It seemed like there was no path forward, but...
It's all going to come down to where are those Eldrazi's? When will Brian draw into them?
Thrun attacking Teferi. Construct more than happy to take the hit here.
Yeah. What is my purpose? You block Thrun. Oh no.
It won't take too many more sad robots before they're not sad anymore, though.
Well, Karn is a bit depleted for now, so... And then there's the thing. If you plus Karn, you've removed 2 cards from your library. That is an actual cost right now. And Brian is just doing all he can to churn through his deck, find those Eldrazi's, because this is going to get hairy. Ousting this Sphinx, yes, okay. And ousting the Arcade is beautiful. Those cards will also be in the way, so unless the top card is an Eldrazi, then there will be no Eldrazi's left to find. And next turn, soon we will see a Teferi ultimate. And we will see Kiora ultimate now, I imagine, because we need to get this beatdown going.
We have to have some way to win the game. And there it is. There's the ultimate. So 9/9 is going to start hitting the battlefield.
We take up Karn. Can we afford to take up Karn?
I think...
Is that legal for us to do? We can oust our own creatures. We can oust our causer.
That is our creature, our one creature, the courser. It's delicate here, and I am just thankful that I have not had to navigate this match because this is an intricate dance that both of these players have been doing, and I didn't think that there was a path forward for Wordwood, and he has really shown
Yeah, that is
some
It's also some
perseverance.
mental resiliency.
Yes.
It's like this is a line dance, but except it's not just a line dance. But below the line, there's like spikes, and the spikes are on fire, and you're covered in gasoline, and it's just like one minor misstep, and this game could have been won or lost for either player. This is some of the most exciting Magic I've seen all year.
He says in minute 25 of a game. This is true control mage heaven to watch this though.
This is not even just control. It's just it's Super Friends. It's an archetype that almost never works. But this Oath of Teferi has been brilliant. It makes those so those planeswalkers actually were able to ultimate way faster than they were balanced to do. It's been excellent, and we're already looking at another Kyora ultimate soon, like
Green Sun
very
Zenith does
shortly.
shuffle those ousted creatures away so that the Eldrazi are back to live draws.
Yeah. Any day now, we will see spaghetti monsters come flying out of Ryan, and it all comes down to: is Wordwood ready? Is he ready to bring the fight there?
Yeah, I mean, if we ultimate this to Fairy, and we're able to tuck this to Fairy, do we get down
I
to a
don't think we are.
situation? Yeah, we're gonna run out of cards, aren't we?
Yeah, we're not going to be able to ultimate this to Fairy and tuck it. We need to oust our own creature.
What a wild game.
And even if we oust our own creature, I am not. Yeah, that should be good enough. I think the play for Wordwood is to oust the course of Krufix and ultimate the Kyora, and let's get going. We are getting 2 squids a turn. We are
Another
playing our
oath.
second Oath Teferi.
Does that
That works.
work?
Yeah, we flickered the Teferi.
Oh, look at that.
We just need to make sure that it doesn't take any damage this following turn.
Teferi has got to tuck it, be able to tuck itself, or we will die to deck damage. We're getting 2 9/9s at the end of turn. We've bubbled the Arcades.
Bubble the Arcades. It comes down to Emrakul. Will this Teferi exile enough mana-producing permanents?
Wait, we're Karning here.
No, we can't. We can't.
We have 0 cards. What's happening now?
Are we dead? No, oust the Courser. Oust the Courser. Planar Cleansing. Yes. Or, sorry, what's it called? Cleansing Nova.
2 9/9s come into play. Teferi.
1 card in hand. Teferi coming back. Oh my
Do you scry top or
God,
scry bottom here?
I scry bottom just for the hell of it. Oh my God. The Madman, he did it. I mean, he's still not out because
Now, Emrakul is still a live draw here, right?
Emrakul still ruins his day. Even Kozilek ruins his day. Even a sizable enough creature, not that.
Tatiova does not ruin his day.
No, but it helps. Yeah, now there's Evolving Wilds, so that churns through the deck even faster.
But Teferi can start attacking the mana.
Yeah, the Teferi Umbra, we will destroy a mana source a turn.
And start
That's
generating. I mean, the 9/9s are going to make it impossible to get through on the ground.
yes. So I think what will
Teferi's
happen
never
is
going to be in play long enough to be attacked.
no. It had to be this turn. Now we're just constantly talking to Fairy, exiling first the Gift of Paradise uh, lands until the Eldrazi's are no longer an issue, and then we'll start working on the permanents. And
Well, so
then
yeah, because Emrakul at this point, even if it gets cast when Teferi comes down again, it exiles the Emrakul, yeah? And then we can't deal enough damage before. Am I
yeah.
right here? I mean,
Okay, so Wordwood chose to
with
exile
no
the
cards in
Arcade
library,
there.
we can plus card to our heart content.
Yes. I think the idea here is to get Karn massively up, scry this to the bottom, and then make some sizable robots. These robots are going to be big as Kragans go.
Well, we said this was going to come down to who knew what the inevitability was, who had the longest game plan. And Wordwood is proving to have a very powerful end game plan here with
I mean, I
Oath of
want
Tefera.
this
Just
entire
Teferi just
game in a museum.
it is
This
a Hall of
beautiful.
Fame kind of game. Truly beautiful to watch it unfold.
Like everyone, and Brian is just keep drawing these bloody greens on seniors, and he just want to see it for an Eldrazi, but Eldrazi's are colorless, they're not green, and he's just hating life right now.
But just getting an Eldrazi isn't good enough either. We need to cast Eldrazi.
Yeah, Wordwood is still working on the permanents. I think Wordwood is just banking on all these Krogans being eventually good enough that
Brian has
it's
an out. Brian has an out. He has one counterspell in the deck, right? Oh, but he's not going to have more creatures anymore.
no, it's not gonna like Wordwood would love for Brian to draw Unified Will.
Yeah, the too many squids have appeared at this point. That would
But
have
yeah,
been a
it
way to
is gonna.
stop this Teferi loop, though.
Yeah, I mean, no one when they put Teferi in the deck imagine that this situation comes up, but by God, is it beautiful.
Wordwood having the vision that this was possible and navigating the game towards it just very beautifully.
Yeah, but he's not out of the. Yeah, that doesn't matter. He's not out of the woods yet. There's still the threat of. And no, there's not even the threat
Well,
of an Emrakul
we
anymore.
have 6/9/9s that can attack this turn.
Yeah, this is it. Wordwood is taking it. Oh my God. I mean, imagine someone is missing this because they're warming up for the Super Bowl.
This is the Super Bowl.
Poor bastards.
This is our Super Bowl.
Oh my God, Wordwood. Oh my Lord.
And in come the
This
Krakens.
is not okay. That is, yeah, crack in. That's what I'm saying.
18 damage. Mother May I? Wordwood takes the match.
Oh my God.
Beautifully fought.
Oh
Congratulations to both players on
God.
that game because it was
Yeah,
really enjoyable to watch.
I'm gonna reach out to Wordwood. We had another interview lined up, but I'm gonna push it a bit because we will get a chance to speak with that person. I'll reach out to Wormwood and see if we can do that.
I'm sure that they will appreciate a moment to breathe.
Yes, and they can get to do that on stream if I can get them.
Brian Paris in the chat saying it hurts to lose, but I'm glad to be such part of an epic match. And I think you put it perfectly there, Brian. That's gotta be rough to lose when it felt like you were in the driver's seat for so long, but beautifully navigated by both players. The vision to see where that game could end up and fight through what felt at times just completely demoralizing. So glad that I'm not a control player, because I don't think I have what it takes to play a game like that.
Yeah, I'm just reaching out to Wordward, seeing if we can get them on stream here. Yeah, I'll just want them. I mean, that was beautiful. Hello, Wordwood. Beautiful game. I am so amazed. You must be as giddy as I am.
Oh, that was one of my favorite games I've ever played in like the entirety of Magic. It was great.
Yeah.
That's
At
why we
what
play this
point-
format. Like,
At what point in the game did you realize what the line was to get to that kind of a state?
so I knew I had the fourth Teferi under Karn for a while, and I assumed that we were gonna have to get to a spot where I started tucking my own Teferi. I didn't expect to have to ult Kiora twice. That was an unexpected line. I don't know if anyone in the history of Magic has ever had two Kiora emblems until today. That seems unlikely. I would bet against it.
I imagine you're as giddy as I am. I said on stream that someone is missing this because they're warming up for the Super Bowl. I think it's one of the most exciting games of a Magic I have watched all year.
I don't know how much you saw. Kozilek and Emrakul were both cast that game, not by me.
Yes.
We were
Yes, they
watching.
were.
We were watching from very early on in that game.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that Thrun was just pressuring your planeswalkers and making it impossible for you to get out from under, because your Novas weren't doing what they were designed to do. And then that Oath of Teferi came down and just really opened the world up for you.
Yeah, Oath of Teferi plus Gideon actually has been kind of nuts the whole day. Just a 10 loyalty planeswalker that protects all the other ones while you're plussing everything it's just so hard to fight through for anything. Like,
Yeah, I had this feeling that this game, you would have been so far ahead in this game if Thrun wasn't around. It feels like
oh yeah,
that, like it wasn't consecrated strings, it wasn't the Eldrazi's, it was just Thrun making your life hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Kiora ult was like my only real out to a Thrun. So my Lyra died. I had to Wrathway my Lyra earlier. I spewed my Bolus's clutches too early. I wasn't thinking, and I stole the Tatyova on like turn 5 or 6.
Yeah, to protect the Karn, I think.
Yeah, and I could have. I forget what I could have done instead. I had like 2 planeswalkers in hand. I could have just played those out and tried to protect that way.
But it's funny that a play on turn 5 ends up affecting turn 60 when you're completely out of cards in your library, and sure would be nice to steal their Eldrazi.
The Bolus's clutches I really shouldn't have spewed, because it can actually answer both Emrakul and Thrun, because you can blink it with Oath of Teferi, and then when an aura comes in that's not cast, you just have to choose a legal permanent to enchant. But I wasn't playing for that long of a game, and if I'd held it, I think I could have ended the game a lot sooner.
Very interesting. Well,
what's the craziest thing you've taken with Bolus's clutches? I have to ask.
That was the first time I cast it today. I'm playing 1 because I think it's the best answer to Teferi in the format. I was a big fan of the card in Standard because you got to steal Niv Mizzets in the Is It mirrors with it.
Oh yeah.
And like your opponent would just tap out for Niv all the time because it's uncounterable. And then the only way most people had to remove it was like cast 2 lightning strikes, or you would spend several spells and they draw several cards. And if you Bolus's clutched it, they got no cards, and you got a Niv Mizzet, which was the best card because they were also blue-red spells.
Yeah. You know
Very
what?
nice.
Thank you for taking this time with us.
Yeah.
We'll give you like a quick minute to catch your breath.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stretch
for the
my
semifinals.
legs and decompress a little after that match.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll take a quick
Best
break and
luck
we'll
for
be
the
back.
semifinals.
We'll be back with the semifinals here.
Mhm.